Okay. All right, so I have the pleasure of introducing you to somebody who's very special and near and dear to my heart. She is somebody who is a phenomenal mother, an amazing wife, and she came to Tupperware about 6 years ago. And I remember 5 years ago at our end of the year party, I remember we were standing there in Pam's room, and I just was like, I was talking, I was like, hey, I'm so grateful for my organization and all of this, and I was like, and Julie, I don't even know where you came from, but you're amazing, because she kind of came out of nowhere. All right, and I'm going to let her tell you a little bit about her story, but I want to go ahead and bring her up because she is featured in our new flyer. If you haven't seen it,
way to go!
She's featured in our new flyer. And for good reason, because she is such a powerful leader. Now, she's based out of Columbus, but she's originally from the Cleveland area.
Westlake.
And so, but she's part of our Columbus team. So some of you may or may not have seen her before. I'm sure you've heard her name. But she's such an amazing leader and such an amazing mom. And over the years that she's been in Tupperware, she's had 3 babies?
You can move over.
I had 3.
Move over.
Yeah, come over this way. She's had 3 babies as she's been growing her Tupperware business. And she's an organizational leader, and she has been for quite some time. And she just continues to grow and grow in this business around a crazy, fun home life. and so she's just amazing. But I'm going to go ahead and give her the mic and let her tell her story. So, all right, give it up for Miss Julie Quinn!
Thank you, everyone. Well, I'm so honored to be here, and it was such a blessing to be featured in the Tupperware catalog. That was kind of exciting and stuff, but I'm just most grateful to be here because this is where my first sales meeting that I ever went to was here in Cleveland, even though I'm from the Columbus area, and it was just really inspiring to me. So I'm going to give you guys a little bit of backstory before I go into my testimonial of Tupperware so you kind of know where I came from. So prior to Tupperware, I worked at the Ohio Attorney General's office in the Victims of Crime Unit. So I actually have a criminal justice degree, nothing to do with Tupperware. And, it was basically, I had a great job. I started off as an investigator in their unit right out of college. And then from there, I moved up and I was working in outreach programs across the state for training victim service providers, victim advocates, criminal justice professionals, law enforcement. And then from there, I actually, I think I was like 25, and I was the manager of the victim notification program every day. It's called VINE for the entire state of Ohio. So I had a great job, like dream job for a lot of people. But if you would have asked me what I wanted to be when I was a little girl, I would have always said I wanted to be a mom. That was just always my dream. I was always babysitting from as long as I could remember. My dad comes from 13 kids. My mom comes from 11 kids. Like I always had cousins and everything else. That was all I really wanted. I wanted a family so badly. And I wanted to be a stay-at-home mom. And I didn't think that was going to happen for us. My doctor actually told me that they didn't think we'd ever have kids. And, they had referred me to, an infertility specialist. And we had some, heartbreak and some loss. But praise God, he had other plans for us. And I got pregnant with my first son, Josiah. And it was not an easy pregnancy at all. I was really sick. I was diagnosed with hyperemesis gravidium during the pregnancy, and I was pretty much sent home. I had to be in disability from work and was sent home on bed rest with a Zofran pump attached to my leg. He keep feeding me nausea medication so I could, survive with food and everything. 10 months later, though, he came in healthy and great. And I was so thankful. Now, I'm from Columbus, but my family is here in Cleveland. And we had no family in Columbus with us, to help me, childcare or anything. And so I felt my only option was to put him in a daycare. And we signed him up. That was the way that, we had done. And we chose to send him there, one close to my work and everything. But once he came into the world and everything that we went through to get him here, I just could not leave him. I went back to work. And I literally sat in my office and I cried the first day. I just bawled my eyes out the entire day. And I just did not want to be there. And I came home and I prayed really, really hard. And it was one of the first times in my life where I really felt like I heard, God tell me to quit my job and stay home with my kid. And I was terrified because I was the sole breadwinner in my family at that time. So I had no idea how I was going to make this work. And I really felt that God had just said, trust me. And it's funny, I have this little tattered workbook here with me. And I found it the other day and I went through it. And during the time that I was on maternity leave the whole time, I have all these prayers begging God to let me be a stay-at-home mom. And I found the first one. The first one was like, Lord, the biggest challenges I have right now were I desperately wanted to stay home. The deep desires about this, to raise my child, And my prayers here, I've got prayer after prayer of just begging that God would find a way. And that was, there. And I did. I took a huge leap of faith and I quit my job to stay home. I had no idea how we were going to do this, but I did. And, that first year was hard. It was really hard. I started babysitting just to bring in some extra money. And, I was blessed with a huge family that were a great family to babysit for. That was phenomenal. And I started couponing like crazy. Like I was like one of those crazy coupon ladies that would go to the store with my coupons and just try to stock up on stuff, just anything that I could to save money for my family and stuff. And I have notes to keep myself on track because I definitely will go off track here, so sorry. Okay, so then during that time, I got my son Josiah. They're all back there. They really wanted to come today, so it's the first time I let them come to the floor meetings. My son Josiah was about 9 months old, and I got pregnant with my second son, Daniel. So much for that infertility diagnosis because I was pregnant again. And I was about 8 months pregnant at that time with Daniel, my second son, and my friend Karen Betts invited me to a Tupperware party. Okay? So I didn't have much money to spend at that Tupperware party, and I remember I literally went there, I think, with $14 in my pocket to spend at a Tupperware party. And I remember I wanted to find some freezer containers because I felt like, that would help me prep and, get something that I could stretch the dollar for my family and stuff. And when I went to this Tupperware party, I got there, I found out I was the only person that showed up at that Tupperware party. And this consultant had just drove in 2 hours to come do this Tupperware party. And it was me with $14 in my pocket. I'm like, oh, this is a bus for him, is what I'm thinking in my head, But I was just so glad to be out of the house, One thing I realized, I was home with, my baby all the time, so I didn't really get out much, so I was glad to be out. And I walked into this Tupperware party, and let me tell you, even though I was that one consultant in that room, that Tupperware consultant worked the room like there were 25 of us in there. Because as soon I wanted every single piece of Tupperware that I saw when I went in there. And then I was getting all sentimental because I'm like, this is the stuff my mom got growing up. Like, those are the push button canisters. And I realized going into this Tupperware party, I was thinking I was going into like a plastic party. I didn't even know Tupperware was still around, So that was like, I didn't realize that. And when I went there, I was like, everyone needs to know this. Like, I couldn't find them when I was registering for my wedding. And, here I was, I'm wanting everything. I'm all sentimental. I was 8 months pregnant, so that's probably why I was weeping over the plastic, but I was all excited about it.
Exactly how you feel.
And then so while that super smart consultant that was there realized that I wanted everything and that, I was not like going to go to buy everything, and he had a Fridge Smart container. And I was telling him, why I was there, and I said I wanted to spend money for my family, and he said, those Fridge Smart containers, they're, pretty expensive, but I have a deal for you right now. This Fridge Smart container that's right here, like right in front of you right now, the number of days that you book your party is the price that you're going to get it for. So I'm like, $14 sold. So when I got in my pocket, I went home and I booked it. And then he also had like this big plastic kit wrapped. I don't know if we have a new consulting kit. He had it all wrapped up in plastic wrap. And I saw that, and I'm like secretly thinking, you think this is the giveaway? I'm the only one here. And he was like, this is, I'm like, what's that? Like, what's that over there? Because he had just done this party with me and my friends, and he demoed every single thing that was in that kit at the party. Okay? So I'm like, I want what's in there. And he goes, well, this is a new consulting kit. He's like, it's over like $400 worth of Tupperware, but you can get it for $99. I'm like, really? I was like a bargain person, and I had already agreed to book this party. And I asked him, I'm like, okay, so I'll be honest with you, like, I have no idea how to sell plastic. I have a long career in criminal justice, like, I just, I said, but what happens if I just get the kit and I quit? Is Tupperware gonna like come and like take my, send me a notice that I need to sell the Tupperware back? And he's like, no, just give it a try, but you need to do a launch party. And he's like, but your party can count as this party. So I'm like, well, let me go think about it. And I went home, and my husband loves kitchen stuff. So he's like, you want to do it, you know? And he's like, so next, time when he got paid, I went and I got the new consulting kit. And so there was, I'm trying to check. Okay. So I did have a launch party. 2 people came to my launch party. I booked no parties from it. So that was like October. It was total bust. And then I didn't do anything because I was pregnant and I needed to have this baby. And Daniel, my little son, that guy back there with the plaid shirt, he came in there. He was my 10.5-pound baby that came into the world. And he did not sleep. So I was on maternity leave then with him, and the family that I had been babysitting for this time, they told me that they were going to go on, she was leaving, they were going to Albuquerque, New Mexico. And this was really devastating to me because those little kids had been like my family. They had become like my own. And I was really lonely as a stay-at-home mom, and Ginger, her mom, had become like one of my best friends, and she was leaving too. Like that was the one adult that I got to talk to besides my husband, all day. I got like a woman that I could just talk to and tell her about my day and just have a conversation with. So I was really devastated when she moved. And I did find another babysitting job for a great family, but I still really missed my friend Ginger a lot. Then out of nowhere, I got a random call from Samantha Mashari, who was my director. And she asked me, hey, would you like to come to a Spring Fest? So this was about 6 months after I'd originally signed up, and she just randomly called me, and I was like, wow, what's a Spring Fest, And I said, okay, I'll come. And the reason I came was because it was in Cleveland. I thought this is a good opportunity for me to visit my parents, and I can go and, be around adults, for there. So I went basically to be around adults. And I remember coming to the Spring Fest, and I think there's still pictures of me, because I had Danny, my 10.5-pound little beast of a baby that I was carrying around at the Tupperware meeting. It was my first kid to go. And I remember Angela Robard giving her testimony at the Spring Fest, I think, of what had happened to her. And I just remember she was kind of teasing me, Pam, come sit with your fancy shoes, and and she's like, and I didn't realize I could do this, and I could, and I was just like, I wonder if I could do that. I wonder if I could. And I talked to Samantha about it, and she said, well, let's just come and do a relaunch party for you. Let me come down and let me do it. And I said, okay, let me try it. And so Samantha did come to my launch party. I had 3 people come at that time to my relaunch party, but I did book a party from there. I booked 2 parties, and I got my first recruit. My friend Gabby had joined my team, so that was a big deal. And at this point, I had a hungry toddler, and I was starting to use a lot of the Tupperware products, and I just really became really passionate about it, and I realized how much easier this was actually making my life as a mom. So I realized how much, and I couldn't help share about it, and basically what ended up happening was all my friends started joining Tupperware, because they were all broke stay-at-home moms with me, and they wanted a deal on the Tupperware, so they were all buying the kit, and that was what happened. And then by the time...
Julie, can you talk into the microphone so we can all hear you?
Oh, I'm sorry.
Thank you.
So they had all joined Tupperware. And so that was, we did my relaunch party at the end of April. By June, I was a manager. July, I was a director in qualification. In September, I made director. So that was within 6 months that it happened really, really fast. And so the cool thing about it was I had no idea what I was doing at the time. I will tell you flat out, I had no idea what I was doing. And I kind of think that was the good part about it, because I had no idea. So all of these people that I loved, we were then doing it together. And we were learning it together, and we really had fun doing it, and it was a great opportunity. So, but the one thing I want to say is it wasn't always easy. And that's just something I think a lot of people read a testimony and they're like, oh, that's they're a certain personality. And it was not easy. There were a lot of challenges that came along the way, and I want to tell you about them because I feel like maybe there's someone in the room that's going through that challenge right now, and I don't want you to give up, because I'm really glad that some of these ladies didn't give up on me, and I don't want you guys to give up either. My first challenge was Daniel. He was really feisty. He loved his mama, and he literally did not want to be put down. He wanted to be everywhere in front of me, and he had a set of lungs to let you know. My first Tupperware party was across the street at my neighbor's. It was a total mess. I forgot half of my Tupperware across the street, and I kept going. I had no idea. I didn't even ask for bookings at the party, and didn't know what I was doing. And then I came home and my husband literally was standing in the living room and Danny was screaming at the top of my lungs. And he looked at me and he's like, I'm glad you had a great time, but he is solely nursing. Do not leave me with him alone again. And so I'm like, well, and I knew I didn't want to give up on it. And I had a friend that I knew from my old church. I'm like, I've got to get creative about this. And I think for me, like those kids, like, I quit my job to stay home with them. So it was really important for me to be with them still. So after that, I took Danny with me to my first couple parties. They were with close friends and families. I wouldn't recommend doing that with someone you didn't know. But I did it with a couple of my friends, and I took him with me because they were ladies from my church, and they were glad to hold him, and he was glad to be held as long as he could see me, and that's how I worked my business at that time in my life. Eventually, he ate baby food, and Justin could watch him, and he was fine, But during those times, that's what I had to do to work my business there. So that was a challenge for me, too. The other challenge that I had was I had recruited all my friends, so then I had no more parties. Because all my friends had joined my team and I didn't know what to do. And this is where I want to emphasize the importance of that one opportunity. Because what happened was I was doing what I wanted to do. My mom had come to visit with me in town, and we were like, let's go to some garage sales, let's get some deals or whatever. And we went to a garage sale in the neighborhood, and here I am, toting my giant baby in the carrier, and my mom's up there with me, and I went to a garage sale at the home of Jessica Gordon. And Jessica was having a garage sale and was trying to sell people her cracked, broken Tupperware. And I went in there and I'm like, I could warranty this out and you could get new stuff. And Jessica was like one of those people you meet in $1 million, and like she was just like, really, you can? And then she went and got me a whole bunch more from the house, and my first big warranty order. And then she was like, you know what? I want to do a party. I didn't even have to ask her, which was awesome for me because that was exactly what I needed because I was new and I didn't know what I was doing. And she's like, I want to have a Tupperware party. I'm like, okay. And that was that one opportunity I needed to keep going at that time, and that was Jess. And the thing that was really cool is I told you guys about Ginger, the lady who I babysat for, who I had lost. She had moved to Albuquerque and was away. Well, Jess then became like Ginger to me. You know what I mean? Like that was who God had brought into my life to encourage me and be my friend that was there. And she moved, and then I went to Cleveland. But that was exactly what I needed in that time of my life. So that was the other thing. It wasn't just about goals. It was about a friendship that I needed, and there were so many other needs met in that situation. So, okay. Trying to stay on track with you guys. All right. Okay, so then, shortly afterwards, I got pregnant with Grace, my little girl, and that was really awesome. But she became a Tupperware baby. She started coming to all my meetings. You guys might remember me carrying her around and stuff. She's the one struggling on my dad's lap back there. And I was overwhelmed. That was a rough year. I was really overwhelmed at that time. I had 2 toddlers. They're boys. My older ones are boys. So they're wrestling. Who has boys? 2 boys close together in age? Yeah, you know what I'm talking about, right? They like wrestle and they don't just they jump, they run, all this stuff. I had 2 toddlers and I had a baby and I was overwhelmed at that time. And it was hard, but we got through it. And I'll tell you why, because when I was trying to balance it all, it was always someone like Ellen or Pam that would call and encourage me too during those times when there were times where, I'm going to be real, there were times where anyone thinks, what should I do? What should I do? And that's why you surround yourself with your upline and positive people that encourage you. You can stick with this. Don't give up everything that you worked for, okay? Then, from that one, so then what happened with Jess? Then Jess went ahead and she became a director team of her own, which was awesome, and that was what I needed to. I watched Jessica do that, and that encouraged me. Like when you are building your team, you are even encouraging your directors, which was awesome, and that's what helped me get. Then 2016 happened, the year 2016. I found out that I was pregnant with, again, and which was really exciting. But this was a really, really difficult pregnancy for me. I was close to being bedridden because of the nausea again. And then when the nausea became bearable, my husband had to have back surgery. So he went and had back surgery, and then I had just gotten there and I was taking care of him with the back surgery, and I was a mess. I was like anxious, I was crying all the time, I was exhausted, I was overwhelmed, and I didn't know what was going on with me. I got a call from my doctor, and I had been diagnosed because of the pregnancy. I had anemia, you know, and it was really bad because it was actually, they told me if you don't start getting iron transfusions right now, you don't have enough red blood cells to recover for your C-section, and you won't make it. You know, so we started having to have iron transfusions on top of the back surgery and everything else. And on top of that, then, I also found out I had 2 umbilical hernias because of my 10.5-pound baby that had happened a couple years before. And I was going to have surgery again in 2016. So I was beyond overwhelmed. I had no idea how I was going to take care of my husband, my kids, myself, let alone my Tupperware business. Then came Pam with an encouraging card in the mail. Then came Ellen with a phone call. Then came Jessica with a text. You know, those are the things that got me through it. And I have to give a huge shout out to my team in Tennessee. During that time, when you build a relationship with your team, those girls, they are amazing. They literally never missed a beat, and they kept selling all that Tupperware. Then came along Daniela Schmidt, another opportunity, a past host of mine. Keep in touch with your past host. Daniela came into my life, and she was a huge blessing and somebody else to encourage me to keep going when I had really honestly thought about giving up at different times. You know, and just watching her recruit. When you watch someone, someone comes to your team and you watch them recruit and you watch them work their business, it encourages you. That's why it's so important for recruiting. It's just not for you, it's for them. It's not just for them, it's for you too. So then came along Emily, my little baby back there. And she was in my meetings for a long time there too as well. And I pretty much did all of my parties on Facebook this past year because Emily, like Daniel was for the first couple months, did not want to be away from mom at all. I remember having to leave meetings to go get her. And the biggest things I learned though is that we literally have the best company in the world to make a flexible business through this. You know, everybody eats. So, you know, you have to cook, like, you know, I told my kids, I promised them I would call them up here at the end. Josiah, Daniel, and Grace, come here, because they were a big reason.
Yay!
Come here. They were so excited the first meeting they ever came. Right here. Okay. So these are who I do it for, and the thing is, Tupperware makes it easy. I have to cook 3 meals. At this time in my life, I have to cook meals for all of these little kids. Okay? And they're a huge blessing to me, and that's why we're in business right now. When I'm cooking meals, I snap a photo. I post it on Facebook. I send it to my host. I do everything like that. You know, that's how I'm working my business now. If you are a busy mom, you have a soccer game, take your water bottles to the soccer game. You can make your business. What other business, you know, lets you bring your work literally with everyone has to eat? It's such a good way to market it. Sorry. Even real folks, this is how I have to work at home. And the biggest thing that I would leave you with is never underestimate the power of one opportunity. Okay, off the table.
Wait, you want a picture? You want a picture?
I know.
So we want the rest of the family too.
Okay.
At the very end.
So, one idea, all of those add up to many. When you have one person, one idea, all of them add up to be many. Okay? And if you're in a place where you're feeling discouraged or you're lacking belief, pray and ask Him to help your unbelief. You know, pray and ask for opportunities. He's going to give them to you. Okay? Who would have ever thought that 8 years ago when I was begging God to allow me to stay home with my kids in this little tattered workbook that I have, that Tupperware would be the plan that He had for me. You know, and that He's allowed me to stay home, and that's one of the big things. So He put in my path to help provide for my family. One of my constant prayers for my business is that He would bring people into my life that I could help. And when you help somebody else and then you watch others do the same, that's what inspires you and that's what will come around. I'd be here forever if I told you all the times that I saw this happen. Because of my team's perseverance and each and every one of you that shared your success with me, you encouraged me and you encouraged somebody else at Champion too. If you're a host here, you were a blessing. You might be that one glimmer of hope that your consultant needed, and you're being a blessing with them too. So not only did you get free Tupperware, but you were a big blessing to them. We're truly better together. Okay.
Hopefully she'll stand up now.
Gracie, can you stand up first? Oh, she'll stand up perfect.
Stand up for me.
All right.
Can you stand up and look pretty for a picture?
We got the rest of the family. No.
Daniel. All right.
There we go.
Oh my gosh, how amazing. What an amazing story she has. All right, so a couple quick things that she said that I have heard as a leader time and time. We need to go this way.
Oh, sorry.
Time and time again. If she said, my launch party was a flop. Right? My launch party was a flop. And people are like, I can't do this business. My launch party was a flop. Her first party was a flop. Right?
Yeah.
Oh, my first party. Nobody's coming to my parties. I can't do this business. And then she says she recruited all her friends. Hello? I mean, it happens a lot. When you get excited about something, all of a sudden you recruit all your friends, and there goes your pool, your center of influence, right? And you're just like, well, I can't do this. I recruited all my friends. No, you can. You know, it's about pushing forward. It's about pushing past that and figuring out truly what your why is. Who's leaving right now? Do you want to go say goodbye to them? Okay. She's like, we're good.
My car keys.
Yeah. Leave the purse. Take the babies. Okay. You know, and I think that's one of the most beautiful parts of her story. But also, just the fact that she's incorporated her family into the business. Instead of them being a reason why she can't do it, they are her why. And so she takes that and turns it into how she can do it around that. Because we say all the time, I know I say all the time, I think Pam says it too, but if you have a will, we can find you a way. And that's what she's doing. You know, she's got that will and she's finding a way. You know, one way or another. And it's just, it's brilliance. I mean, she may look like a mom, and she may look like a wife, and she may look like your neighbor next door, but this is a very savvy business woman, all right? She is, absolutely. And you can tell by the savvy people that she brings into the business. You know, I mean, truly, I remember when Jessica came to her first meeting. And I remember she had the cutest little team back there, and I was just like, "Who's that? Who are they? What's going on over there?" You know, and I don't know if Jessica was still recruited before Samantha stepped up, because when she first joined, Sam wasn't a director just yet, or maybe she had just become a director, or maybe stepped down. I can't remember, but for a while there, they were all on my team, and I was like, "Wow, this is amazing!" And it was this fun little bubble of people that were growing down there in that area. And it was just, and she's exactly right. When people ask me all the time, they're just like, how can you stay in the business this long? Don't you get tired? Don't you burn out? Are you tired of the hustle? Absolutely not. Because when I find somebody within the organization, whether I recruited them or not, or maybe it's somebody on Jenny's team and Jenny's excited about her, that makes me excited. You know, when somebody new comes in, you know, because when you are recruiting all the time and you have enough recruits, you don't put all your eggs in one basket. So you recruit them all and you love them all exactly where they're at. And if it doesn't work out, you bless them and go on to the next person. You know, and so you don't, it's okay. It's okay for people to not call you back. It's okay for people to take the kid and not necessarily do anything. But it's our job to reach out and reach out and reach out. And that's what she said too in her story over and over again. Sam reached out to her and says, hey, come to Springfest. She's like, what's a Springfest? You know? And then Pam reaches out to her and is like, you can do this. I know you can do this. And so, I mean, her story truly is, it's honestly a very typical journey in Tupperware when somebody keeps going. So, as the leader, hear what people did right, what the leaders did right. As a consultant, hear what she did right to grow her business despite all of the mess of life that was happening around her. All right? Okay, so we're going to do some quick ahas. Loretta's going to come around with the microphone. We've got 5. 5 tickets. So any ahas or even a question for Julie. For Julie's story, yeah.
I like the when you talk about don't pass up that one opportunity. Like, we do more and more.
I think about that a lot. Like, what if he had just said, forget it, I'm canceling that party? You know what I mean? Like, if he had not shown up and done that party and stuff, like, I don't know where I'd be at. Like, you know, I would have been met Jessica, I wouldn't have met Ellen or Laura and everything. So if you even had, like, it was great that he did that.
Because you're not loud enough. It's Patricia, if anybody knows.
I was just going to say.
That's who it is.
I love the fact that you took your kids with you because I have a lot of new people on my team that are having babies or have very small kids, and I took my grandson with me when I first started, And I liked it because that was my little buffer, that was my little icebreaker for a lot of people, and I'm trying to teach that. So I like that other people are hearing that it's okay to take them, and like you said, friends and families, that type of thing, close events, you know. That was something that I think is a positive.
Yeah, and you can do it with vendor shows too, you know, like that was a lot of things, like I took Emily to a ton of vendor shows. Best way to get someone to your table is today.
Exactly.
I'm Melissa, and my thing was that we're better together.
Truly.
Absolutely. Somebody over here?
I'm Carla, and mine was snap your pictures. I do that all the time. And when the fridge marks were on sale, buy a set, get one free, that is how I sold the heck out of my fridge marks. I'm like, check these out, look at my cauliflower, look at my strawberries. So definitely snap your pictures.
Snap your pictures. All right. All right, one more. I'm sorry, guys. You only have time for 5.
I'm Rebecca, and I liked it when you said that when you came home from the one event, your husband said, "Don't leave me again." So then you decided to take, and you didn't give up.
But you know,
You made a way.
Yeah, and that was, at that time I did, you know, and the thing is was cool, like, until they had baby food, just, you know, that was, you know, he's great with toddlers, you know, but infants not so much. But he will tell you, he'd be the first one, if he was still here, he will tell you because eventually I did leave them, he's a better father today. You know, he will say that, he's like, I don't know what you did, now I know what you go through all day, and I don't want your job. You know?
I don't get any more tickets, but I want them to share on how they got.
My aha was that you say you take pictures and you do everything and you post it online with your kids. So, I mean, you can do anything with your family.
And Kim?
She's like, that's me.
I did a relaunch last night, and I traveled after I did my part-time job at JCPenney's, and so that was like at 7:15 I got there. The first person didn't arrive until an hour later, but I still did the whole show. So she's still doing her orders, and then I sold cash and carry as well. So I made like $95 an hour for 2 hours. So I sold almost $200 worth of cash and carry that I didn't plan on sharing with anybody but myself. So, if you don't know, just do it like you said. If you have one, do it as if you have 21.
You don't know who God's going to put in your path. So, way to go. Let's all clap and cheer for Julie.
That was amazing. If you're watching us on Facebook Live, we are going to restart this with the next speaker, so don't worry, we'll be back.